Am I the asshole for demanding my niece or her parents pay me back for the perfume she stole? I've been collecting perfume since I was a teenager, slinging burritos to afford my first bottles. Now, with over 400 bottles, it's my pride and joy. I'm not some stingy collector. I love sharing. I let friends try sprays, give decants as gifts, and even hook people up with samples. But what I can't stand is theft, especially from someone I trusted. My 17-year-old niece, who I'll call Emma, crossed a line that's got me fuming. Emma's been dog-sitting for me when I'm out of town. I thought she was responsible, maybe even a bit shy. Turns out she's been sneaking into my perfume room, decanting my bottles, and selling the samples to her friends like she's running a side hustle. She figured with my huge collection, I wouldn't notice a few missing mLs here and there. Big mistake. Her private Instagram wasn't as private as she thought. I stumbled across her stories, bold as day, advertising my perfumes with prices. $10 for a 5 ml decant of Bianco Latte, $59 for Escapade Gourmand, and more. She even swiped a full 5 Oz bottle of Baccarat Rouge 540, which retails for over $300. That's not pocket change. I sat down, heart pounding, and tallied up the damage. She hit mostly the trendy TikTok famous stuff, Marc Jacobs Daisy, Burberry Her Elixir, Flower Bomb, but the Baccarat was the real gut punch. Based on cost per ounce, I estimated she took about $600 worth. I wasn't about to let this slide. I printed out a detailed list of everything she stole, complete with price estimates, and handed it to my sister, Emma's mom. I told her I expect to be paid back in full and Emma's banned from my house. Forever. My sister lost it. "She's just a kid," she said, like that excuses everything. "Kids make mistakes, you're being too hard on her." I shot back that this wasn't a mistake, it was calculated. Emma didn't spill a bottle. She stole, decanted, and sold my stuff for profit. My sister whined that Emma's car fund would take a hit to pay me back. I don't care. She's lucky I'm not dragging her to small claims court or calling the cops, though I made it clear that's not my style. I just want my money. Emma's been sulky, acting like I'm the villain for calling her out. My sister's still defending her, saying I'm overreacting because it's just perfume and Emma's only 17. But 17's old enough to know better. She didn't borrow a spritz for prom. She ran a black market perfume ring out of my house. I'm not budging. I worked hard for my collection, and I'm not letting a sneaky teenager treat it like her personal ATM. My sister's been dodging me since, and Emma's been radio silent. I'm starting to wonder if I'm too harsh, but I don't think so. Stealing's stealing, right? The fallout's been tense. My sister's telling family I'm being petty, and a few relatives think I should let it go since Emma's young. But I can't shake the betrayal. I trusted her in my home, and she repaid me by treating my passion like a cash grab. I'm standing firm on the repayment, but part of me wonders if I'm making too big a deal out of it. After all, she's family, and I didn't lose anything irreplaceable. Still, the principle matters. Am I the asshole for demanding my niece or her parents pay me back for what she stole? Am I the asshole for telling my son his girlfriend needs to shower more or move out? Living with family can be a delicate balance, especially when you're blending different lifestyles under one roof. I'm a 45-year-old mom, and I've always been cool with my 23-year-old son, Jake, living at home to save some cash. He's a good kid, works hard, and we've got a solid relationship. My husband, Tom, and our teenage daughter, Lily, round out the household. Things were smooth until Jake's girlfriend, Sarah, moved in a few months ago. She's 27, sweet enough, and has a super active job. Think running around outdoors all day. Sounds fine, right? Except for one thing, her hygiene habits are driving us up the wall. Sarah's job leaves her sweaty, and not the just ran a marathon kind of sweaty, but the forgot deodorant and worked in the sun for 8 hours kind. Half the time, she comes home reeking of old sweat and doesn't shower until the next morning. The smell lingers, like you can tell she's been in the living room even after she's gone upstairs. At first, I tried to be subtle. I'd crank the air freshener or open windows, hoping she'd get the hint. Nope. Tom noticed it too, and Lily started avoiding the common areas when Sarah was around. It's not like we're OCD about cleanliness, but this was next level. It started affecting our home vibe. Lily would scrunch her nose and whisper to me, "Mom, it smells like a gym in here." Tom would just shake his head and mutter about basic manners. We gave it a few weeks, thinking maybe Sarah was adjusting to living with us. But nothing changed. Finally, I couldn't take it anymore. I pulled Jake aside one evening and laid it out. "Look, Sarah needs to shower when she gets home, or she needs to find somewhere else to live. The smell's making it tough for everyone." I wasn't mean, just direct. I figured he'd talk to her, they'd sort it out, and we'd move on. Jake didn't take it well. He got defensive, saying I was being controlling and mean. He called me a busybody, like I was sticking my nose in their business for no reason. I was floored. This wasn't about meddling. It was about living in a house that doesn't smell like a locker room. I told him we're all affected. Me, Tom, Lily, and it's not fair to expect us to just deal with it. He doubled down, saying Sarah works hard and shouldn't have to perform for us. Perform? It's called basic hygiene. I held firm. Shower more or she's out. I wasn't yelling, but I wasn't backing down either. Since then, things have been tense. Sarah's been showering a bit more, but it's inconsistent, and Jake's barely talking to me. Lily overheard him venting to a friend, saying I embarrassed Sarah and made her feel unwelcome. I don't want to kick her out, but I also don't want to live like this. Tom backs me up, saying it's our house, our rules, but Jake's acting like I'm the bad guy. Sarah hasn't said much, but I can tell she's uncomfortable now. Part of me wonders if I came on too strong. Jake's my son, and I want him to be happy, but I also want a home we can all enjoy. Maybe I could have approached it differently, like talking to Sarah directly, but I thought going through Jake was more respectful. Now I'm not sure. Am I the asshole for telling my son his girlfriend needs to shower more or move out? Am I the asshole for refusing to pay my estranged sister's full rent after 22 years of no contact? Family ties can be complicated, especially when they're tangled up with years of absence and pain. My half-sister Lisa and I haven't spoken in over 22 years. I'm 35 now, and the last time I saw her, I was a kid dealing with the fallout of her chaotic life. Lisa's my dad's daughter from another relationship, and she was adopted by him when she was young. Growing up, she was trouble, always in and out of our lives, leaving a trail of drama. By her late teens, she spiraled into a meth addiction that tore through our family like a wrecking ball. She had 3 kids, one of whom my mom took in and raised. The other 2 were adopted out through a church. Lisa vanished to the Midwest, and we heard nothing until recently. My dad passed away a few months ago, and out of the blue, Lisa reappeared. She showed up in Southern California, where she's living now, and reached out to attend his funeral. Out of respect for my dad, I paid for her flight to make it happen. I didn't expect a tearful reunion or anything, but I figured it was the right thing to do. The funeral came and went, and that was it. No real conversation, no catching up, just a quick appearance. I was fine with that. My childhood with Lisa was rough. She caused a lot of trauma for me and my mom, and I've got no interest in rekindling a sisterly bond. Then, on July 30th, Lisa texted me asking for money to cover her rent. Not a small amount either. She wanted the full month, which she said was $800. I was stunned. After 22 years of silence, no apology, no acknowledgement of the past, she just slides into my DMs asking for cash? I sat on it for a day, torn between guilt and resentment. My dad's death stirred up old feelings, and part of me wondered if helping her was what he'd want. But the more I thought about it, the more it felt like she was taking advantage of me. Still, I offered $400 as a one-time thing and told her not to ask for more. She pushed back, saying she needed the full amount and that I owed her as family. That set me off. I told her no, flat out. I said I'd already done enough with the funeral flight and I wasn't her ATM. She got defensive, saying she's trying to get back on her feet and that I was being cold. Cold? After everything she put us through, abandoning her kids, disappearing for decades, and now expecting handouts? I don't think so. My mom raised her daughter while Lisa was off doing God knows what. I've got my own life, my own bills, and no room for someone who only shows up when she needs something. Now Lisa's been telling mutual acquaintances I'm heartless, and a few have reached out, saying I should have helped her since she's family and struggling. They don't know the full story, her addiction, the chaos, the years of no contact. I feel a little guilty, like maybe I could have given her more, but I also feel used. She didn't even ask how I'm doing after Dad's death. It was straight to the money talk. I'm not heartless, but I'm not a doormat either. I've set my boundary, and I'm sticking to it. Still, the guilt nags at me sometimes, especially with people saying I should have been more generous. Am I the asshole for refusing to pay my estranged sister's full rent after 22 years of no contact? Am I the asshole for laughing at my stepson and ruining his wedding? I've been a stepmom for over 20 years, married to my husband when his kids, Adam and Ben, were just 5 and 3. We built a family together, adding our own kids, Charles, now 20, David, 17, and Ellie, 13. I've loved Adam like my own, through school plays, scraped knees, and late-night talks. So when he got engaged to Alice, 27, I was thrilled. Their wedding's set for the end of summer, and we've all been buzzing with excitement. Charles is the best man, David and Ben are groomsmen, and Ellie's a junior bridesmaid. I was ready to celebrate, until a family dinner turned everything upside down. It was my husband's birthday, and we had everyone over, including Alice. The wedding came up and Ellie was chattering about dress shopping. She mentioned us heading to a bigger city to pick out her junior bridesmaid dress, and something for me as stepmom of the groom. That's when Alice gave Adam a look and said we only needed to worry about Ellie's dress. Ellie, confused, laughed and asked if I was supposed to wear a suit. Alice's response hit like a brick. You know we're keeping our guest list limited to only family and close friends. I wasn't invited. Never had been. The table went silent. I felt my face burn. Adam and Alice had been to our house countless times since their engagement. Holidays, dinners, casual visits, and not once did they mention I was excluded. Charles, bless him, pressed them. Are you uninviting her now, or was she never invited? Alice confirmed I was never on the list. Adam's reason? She's not my mom. My heart sank. I've been his parent since he was 5, there for every milestone. Yet here he was, drawing a line like I was an outsider. Things escalated fast. Charles, David, and Ellie jumped in, furious. They called it cruel, saying I've been more of a parent to Adam than his bio mom, who's barely in the picture. They told Adam and Alice they wouldn't go if I wasn't invited. My husband was just as stunned, staring at Adam like he didn't recognize him. I sat there trying to process while Adam turned to my husband and said, "Well?" My husband didn't hesitate. "I'm not going either." Then Adam looked at me, accusing me of letting everyone ruin his wedding. That's when it happened. I laughed. It wasn't planned. It just burst out. The whole situation was so absurd, so hurtful, I couldn't help it. I muttered I'd be in the car and walked out. Then I cried my eyes out. Now the family's fractured. Charles, David, and Ellie aren't speaking to Adam. My husband's livid, telling Adam he should be ashamed and owes me an apology. Adam called to smooth things over but doubled down, insisting I'm not invited because it's their wedding. He also demanded I apologize for laughing. My husband told him to get lost. They can invite who they want, but they can't force anyone to show up. Now I'm getting texts from Adam's friends, calling me a stepmonster for ruining the wedding. They're acting like I orchestrated this, but all I did was laugh and leave. I'm heartbroken, wondering if I could have handled it better. Maybe I shouldn't have laughed, but it was raw, real. I've spent 2 decades raising Adam, and this feels like a slap in the face. Am I the asshole for laughing at my stepson and ruining his wedding? Am I the asshole for leaving dinner early after my boyfriend's friend called me the current one? I've been dating my boyfriend Mike for about 8 months, and things have been pretty great. He's 31, funny, and we usually vibe well. Last weekend, he invited me to a dinner with his old college friends, a group I hadn't met before. I was excited to get to know the people he's known forever, maybe hear some embarrassing stories from his frat days. I dressed up, put on my favorite earrings, and went in with a smile, ready to make a good impression. But one moment at that dinner turned everything sour, and I'm still reeling. We were at a cozy Italian restaurant, about 6 of us around the table, chatting over wine and breadsticks. Mike's friends were nice enough, though a bit cliquey, reminiscing about inside jokes I didn't get. I was holding my own, laughing along, when one of his friends, Claire, showed up late. She's 30, confident, and has this sharp edge to her. As she sat down, she gave me a quick once-over, smirked, and said, "Oh, so you're the current one. Cute." The table went dead silent. My stomach dropped. No one laughed, no one corrected her. Mike just let out this awkward chuckle and changed the subject, like she hadn't just thrown a verbal grenade. I sat there stunned, my face burning. The current one? What was that supposed to mean? Was I just the latest in a revolving door of girlfriends? Did Mike have a reputation for cycling through women? And I was clueless? Or was Claire just trying to be edgy and humiliate me? My mind was racing, but I couldn't find words. I felt like every eye was on me, waiting for my reaction. I tried to stay composed, picking at my pasta for another 20 minutes, but the vibe was ruined. Claire's comment hung in the air, and Mike's silence made it worse. He didn't defend me, didn't even acknowledge it. I felt small, disrespected, and honestly, betrayed. Finally, I couldn't take it anymore. I excused myself, said I wasn't feeling well, and left. I took an Uber home, my hands shaking as I booked it. Mike didn't text or call until hours later, and when he did, he was mad, at me. He said I made it a thing by leaving and embarrassed him in front of his friends. According to him, Claire didn't mean anything by it, and I should have just been chill. He even had the nerve to say I should apologize to Claire for walking out like a child. I was floored. Apologize? For not sitting there and taking her blatant disrespect? I told him he was out of his mind if he thought I'd say sorry to someone who insulted me while he sat there and did nothing. Now things are tense. Mike's acting like I overreacted, and I'm questioning everything. Was Claire's comment a jab at me, or is there some history with Mike I don't know about? I keep replaying his reaction, or lack of one, and it stings. I get that I left abruptly, and maybe that made things awkward for him, but I wasn't going to sit there pretending everything was fine. I deserve better than being mocked by a stranger while my boyfriend plays it off. Still, part of me wonders if I should have stayed and called Claire out directly instead of bailing. Maybe I did make it a bigger deal than it needed to be, but her words cut deep and Mike's response hurt even more. Am I the asshole for leaving dinner early after my boyfriend's friend called me the current one? Am I the asshole for refusing to help my best friend with her wedding because she didn't make me a bridesmaid? May and I have been best friends since middle school. The kind of bond where you share secrets, survive awkward phases, and plan your dream weddings together. We're both 24 now, and when she got engaged last year, I was over the moon for her. We'd always talked about being in each other's weddings, so I assumed I'd be a bridesmaid. I mean, we've been through everything. Heartbreaks, late-night study sessions, family drama. Who else would stand by her side? But when the bridal party list came out, my name wasn't on it, and that's when things got messy. It started when May asked me to help with wedding planning. I was happy to pitch in at first, thinking it was just friend stuff. She'd text me about venues, send me dress ideas, ask my opinion on flowers. I figured the bridesmaid reveal was coming. Then one day, over coffee, she showed me her bridal party list. It was her sister, her fiancé's sister, and a few friends she's known for like 2 years. I wasn't on it. My heart sank, but I played it cool and asked why. She got all awkward, mumbling about wanting a small party and having to make tough choices. I nodded, congratulated her, and tried to brush it off. Inside, though, it stung. Those newer friends made the cut, but not me. I told myself I'd still be a supportive guest. But then May kept asking for more help. Big stuff like dress shopping with her, crafting DIY decorations, hunting for venues, even making party favors. It felt like bridesmaid level work without the title. I'd spend hours gluing centerpieces or driving to check out locations, all while feeling like an afterthought. Finally, I couldn't hold it in. I told her, hey, I love you, but I feel weird doing all this when I'm not even a bridesmaid. I wasn't yelling, just honest. I said I'd be at the wedding cheering her on, but I wasn't up for doing the heavy lifting anymore. May flipped. She said she thought I'd want to help because we're best friends and that I was making her wedding about me. I was stunned. I wasn't asking for a pity invite to the bridal party. I just didn't want to be her unpaid wedding planner. Now she's giving me the cold shoulder, and some mutual friends are siding with her, saying I'm being petty and selfish. They think I should suck it up and help because that's what friends do. But I feel used. If I'm not close enough to be in her bridal party, why am I good enough to do all this work? It's not about jealousy, it's about respect. I keep second-guessing myself. May and I have a history, and maybe I should have just helped without making a fuss. Weddings are stressful, and she's probably overwhelmed. But every time I think about it, I remember how casually she dismissed me from her bridal party while expecting me to act like one. I'm still going to the wedding, but I'm done with the extra tasks. Now our friendship feels shaky, and I'm wondering if I'm in the wrong. Did I overreact by setting this boundary? Or is it fair to step back when I feel undervalued? Am I the asshole for refusing to help my best friend with her wedding because she didn't make me a bridesmaid?